What is up, everybody? The new Honda Pilot for 2023 will be debuted soon, and it has been teased a lot, as well as Honda has allowed some reviewers to upload videos showing its increased off-road capabilities. And I'm curious to see how this Pilot debut will go, considering the HR-V and CR-V were a little boring this generation and a little mid. And if you're a frequent viewer, you know my opinions about them. But let's talk about the exterior from what we've seen so far. So the one that they're showing us in the teasers, obviously, and through these videos are the Trail Sport package. So that's the one I'll be talking about basically the most. So it appears that the Trail Sport will mean a blacked out grille and other parts, including mirrors, roof rack, the bumper, and the grille, as I said before. And the grille has the same three-dimensional look as the CR-V. And we also see what appears to be those all-terrain tires based off the thread. And in general here, the design is typical Honda. And we see the similar daytime running lights to what they've been producing before. The Trail Sport has fog lights, and it's the first SUV this year to include them. The HR-V and the CR-V did not. And we see some silver cladding or skid marks, skid plates. For protection. The windows in general are large, and the A-pillars seem to be pretty good for visibility, which is something that Honda has talked about with the design. The most notable thing in the side profile is that the C-pillar windows are disconnected from the rear door, which is an interesting design choice. In this current generation Pilot, they're more connected, and I wonder if that will affect visibility out of the rear at all. So moving on to the rear, we get Pilot spelt out with more Trail Sport badging and cladding. It looks to have an incandescent rear turn signal. And there's just no excuse not to have full LEDs on what is going to be starting at probably close or at $40K. Even the $30,000 Integra has it. And you know I bashed the Integra because I think they could have done better with it. And it's just Honda cheaping out once again. Another thing to mention is that on the Kelley Blue Book video, the Trail Sport says that this will get about an inch more ground clearance than a standard Pilot, so I expect around 8 to 9 inches of total ground clearance. If you look at the rear as well, you'll also see that the Trail Sport has recovery points, which is rated for twice the vehicle's gross vehicle weight rating. If you want a general idea on how this new Pilot will look in full, I'll also throw up some pictures of some renderings brought to you by Motor One, which are usually accurate most of the time, as we saw with the CR-V. So let's move on to the interior, and this is one section of this vehicle I am very interested, because I'm wondering if they'll continue using the same Civic-ish design, or will they move to more upscale or even different design language. The tech here needs to be excellent given the price and the competition, and it also might be a good preview of what we see on the Accord. So the front, side, and 360 view cameras can be used using a button on the windshield wiper stalk, as we saw in some of these videos as well. Car and Driver also posted a picture of the infotainment system, and you'll never believe this. It's the same 9-inch screen that you can get on a $28,000 Civic.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
It's the same 9-inch screen that you can get on the HR-V in Europe that is based on the Fit or Jazz platform. And they're doing this on a Trail Sport, which is going to be probably mid $40,000. And that's just no excuse for that. In most of the competition, they have 10 inches plus. And the leaders in the segment have 12-inch screens. So... And this was maybe acceptable on the CR-V, and I thought they should have had more than 9 inches, but it's just not great for the Pilot. But at least we get a panel moonroof, which should have been an option on the CR-V, to be honest, but they put it on the Pilot here, so I guess good for them. So let's start with the performance. The Trail Sport, again, is the trim that we're talking most about, so that's going to get standard all-terrain tires, skid plate, off-road tuned suspension, and also expanded all-wheel drive capabilities. I expect to see the same J35 found out of the Acura MDX. I expect it to be around the 290 horsepower mark, but knowing Honda, they don't like to match with Acura, if you know what I mean. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just use the same 280 horsepower, maybe increase the torque by 2 pounds or something like that. And in the Kelley Blue Book video, they mentioned that there's going to be a new engine offering. So I'm assuming that this will be likely some form of hybrid to compete with the Toyota Highlander. I'm thinking it'll either be like a very amped version of the CR-V hybrid system, or they can go the way of the MDX Sport Hybrid and use the 3-liter V6, remove the turbo, and then just add some sort of electric battery and motor in there for a pretty good hybrid system, I would say. There is a small chance of a plug-in hybrid system, but I doubt it because we haven't seen in anything else other than the Clarity. And I feel like the CR-V probably should have been the first choice to receive a plug-in hybrid variant, just given how popular the vehicle is in general. But back to the V6, I do expect it to be paired with the 10-speed automatic. They could use the 2-liter found in the TLX Accord and RDX, but I doubt it. And in fact, I really hope they don't. And based on the reviews in the mountains, as I said, they say that it feels like you're not driving a 2-liter, which is good. The Pilot will also get 7 drive modes as well. And I expect a similar setup in terms of suspension to the MDX, meaning a double wishbone front suspension and a new multi-link rear suspension. The tires the Trail Sport gets are Continental Terrain Contact ATs. And for the regular one, I'll expect something a little more street-oriented. And then there's also a new Trail Logic system, which delivers up to 70% of available torque to the rear wheels. Depending on the situation, 75% of that torque is sent to the wheel with traction, while the other one maintains the other 25% of the torque. They're also doing the debut of hill descent control on the Pilot. I'm pretty sure like even the HR-V and the CR-V got that right now, but it does adjust between speeds of 2 and 12 miles per hour. And there's also going to be a full-size spare mounted underneath. Well, at least for the Trail Sport, we'll have yet to see with the other models of the Pilot. A small tidbit is that Honda is competing this in the Rebel Rally, which covers more than 1,500 miles of off-road terrain in Nevada and California. And I think this is actually pretty cool here because it shows the off-road capabilities of this vehicle, and it should be able to get you to your favorite hiking spots. Finally, I do want to touch on the price here. So the current Pilot is already one of the most expensive vehicles in its class, which is pretty typical of Honda now. And it's pretty insane actually considering how old and outdated the Pilot is compared to its competition. But the Pilot starts at 38 grand and ranges to 52 grand. Meanwhile, something like a Telluride starts from like 33 grand and ranges to 44K. And I'll put up the prices for like other competition up on the screen as well. Now, I just want to say this to say that the Pilot needs to be the best in its segment because it'll be very expensive, meaning that it has to step up on the next of its rivals in order to get customers to buy it, such as the Telluride, Toyota, and all of the rest. And seeing things like the 9-inch screen just makes me think that it's just going to be not that much of a step above this current Pilot in terms of interior and some of the luxury stuff, so I'm a little skeptical. And I hope just Honda sees the market of the Pilot and just makes the Pilot compelling as possible in every way and near luxury in terms of ride quality and interior design and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Tell me what you think about the Pilot below. Are you hopeful about it? Do you think it'll be the best in class? Do you think from what you've seen here, do you think it'll be worse? Is the Trail Sport really appealing to you? So let me know all of that down below. And thank you guys for watching. Please like as well. That really helps a lot in the algorithm. And that's pretty much it for me. Peace.